everybody, welcome back to diving into politics, news, sports, everything. I got Matt over here. Alec, we got a guest over here who also is a fan of the coronavirus, which we'll be talking about today.
Canola.
The canola virus.
Well, so basically, I guess we should introduce, so we're still us two, and we were just having our buddy. This is Hunter. We're all friends from OSU. Repping. I never wear this fucking shirt, so that makes perfect sense.
Also,
Simulation.
go Mavs, go Mavs.
No
Alrighty.
free ads, guys. No free ads.
So basically, in weeks past, we've hit our presidential updates first, but we're going to go straight to the coronavirus because those are our biggest stories. Because it has essentially ruined everything,
It's
man.
taken over the world.
It has
It's going
ruined
down.
everything.
It's really going down. It's going down fast.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere you go, that's all you hear about.
Yeah.
Everyone.
My home country is in quarantine, all of it. Italy.
My home
Sending my
country.
prayers. I'm sending prayers. I'm sending some prayers over to you, Italy.
He is Italian, by the way.
Yes.
He's Italian
Let's make that very
American.
clear.
They were actually going to put dividers in between us because they were kind of worried about it, but I haven't coughed
some
yet.
bubble wrap, but Walmart's out.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, no shit. We have a lot of real headlines to cover, but we can hop in immediately to how everyone around Dallas even is starting to freak out about what's available in your stores. I went to the fucking Walmart not far away from here yesterday, I guess. No toilet paper, no freaking any of that shit, and then no water bottles, nowhere to be found.
Canned goods. Chicken.
Canned goods,
food.
when I went, they were doing
No
okay,
beads.
but that's just because they had so fucking many. Like, when are you going to run out of Chef Boyardee cans? At some point, but not for a minute, you know? And people were getting every kind of can
I
there.
need the spaghetti.
You know, my buddy and I had an idea, actually. There's a Chinese market right down the street, and I bet that place is popping.
I bet they got some low deals
bet
right
it got
now.
some- Yeah.
I'm serious, and it's good quality food.
Some good flight deals.
Support
Some
the
good
cause.
Chinese
That's one
food
thing,
deals.
like, people are talking about the whole restaurant deal, and
Yeah.
people are talking about how the Asian community is getting hit even worse. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because it's not exactly logical. It's not reasonable.
No, there's still some of those lower Americans. We'll put them there. That are just kind of thinking the wrong way. It's not true. You can go to any Chinese restaurant. I went to Panda Express. Food was great, and they had a deal. I got a free egg roll with that. So I mean, what are you gonna do with a free
I
egg
fuck
roll?
with Asians 5,000,000%, dude.
You know, I'll tell you something, though. I got a haircut yesterday. Looking nice, I know.
Future too bright.
My guy, though. My Mr. Barberman, his name was Chow. He was an Asian fellow, and I'll be honest, not a racist guy here. Crossed my mind. It did.
Did he
And,
cough?
Did he cough? No.
Okay, then we're good.
No,
we're good.
yeah,
I was about to put another
I think
divider
He
up.
had about 6 bottles of hand sanitizer in front of him, and
Okay.
he wiped me down at every opportunity he could. I gave him a good fat tip because I legitimately felt bad for the guy. I feel like people were probably looking at him differently right
It's
now.
funny. This shouldn't be fucked up, but when I was at the store like 2 nights ago, right next to me was just this family of 5 or 6 Asians. And they were just, I heard like some things they were talking about. And not that I was scared to get anything from them, but I was thinking like, fuck, they probably have a lot of family over in China or wherever, and they're just freaking out. Like, you know, especially their parents, you know, this was just like a couple. They had their little 3 kids. And I was thinking, I mean, God, we haven't hit on one point we have written, but think about, I'm going to jump straight to, me and Hunter were talking about this morning, and I saw him favorite, like, Chris D'Elia's tweet, which I did too. What if Trump just got the corona? He's 70. He's mid-70s, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna get it to beat it to then say, "I can win the election. I beat coronavirus."
So let me tell you why Trump getting the coronavirus is really just, it's a plot. It's a conspiracy. We all believe it, I think. So
Bring the hype.
here's my idea. Trump purposefully gives himself the coronavirus. Therefore, he dies. Maybe not. Maybe he survives. But Mike Pence is temporarily put in charge. Mike Pence shocks all the gay people. It's the perfect plan, really. I mean,
you're like-
he's homophobic, right? So,
If Trump dies for the cause, man, I mean, shit.
but then we know he lives because he's the best.
He lives in eternity. Seriously,
Gold
though.
plated eternity.
It's funny how like we've never been closer to that reality of Mike Pence as a VP, but also he's old balls too. He might drop.
Yeah.
Imagine if we're having a bunch of like people that up there in the chain, man. They're just dying and stuff like that.
That's a real possibility. I mean, I feel.
Well, I mean, he fucking just think
Look at
about
the Senate and everything. They're
how
all-
fast everything
they're
spread through the
old as
NBA.
shit.
Well, Ted Cruz, self-quarantining.
There's
There's
some-
two or three or four.
I was going to say at least
senators,
2
yeah.
others self-quarantining, which is hilarious because the government's still not, like, they didn't tell them to quarantine.
And
people are being proactive to do it. Like,
And their
Jesus.
idea of quarantine is probably like 4 bourbons and a couple lines of, what. So, like,
Dude, Ted Cruz.
really, how much of a quarantine is happening?
Ted Cruz was talking like that the quarantine's 2 weeks, right? 14 days.
Yeah, 14 days.
Well, we know what Ted Cruz
Imagine
does
being
his
stuck
spare
in your
time.
house for 14
He's a
days,
Zodiac
dude.
killer, man.
You remember his Twitter like?
Yeah.
His,
Which
little,
one?
Little porn scandal.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dude,
That's
I
some
remember.
throwback right
Well,
there.
I mean,
That's some
that's
throwback.
good
You forgot
material.
about that, didn't you?
I mean, I always
I
think about the
didn't. I'll never
Zodiac.
forget.
The Zodiac killer stuff is what's always on my mind.
Yep,
Because he even
yep.
jokes about it, and it's kind of like, that's exactly what the Zodiac killer would do, bro. Joke about his kills. It's just counting your kill count in public like that.
I've never seen him in the same room.
All right, but let's talk about the market because that's one of the biggest things lately. The last 2 weeks have been
I got killed
horrible.
this week.
They've been absolutely
I
horrible.
got killed.
Well, it was a record-setting horrible week the week before this last one, and then this one was another horrible week. That's probably the two worst. So Thursday was the worst drop in a day, like 1,000 points on the Dow since 1987. And then
I'm just waiting for you to talk about the 1.5 trillion.
I was just getting that because that's what I thought he pulled up.
It was going down. It was happening, but going down.
Yeah. So everybody's talking about this 2,000 point rally at the end of Friday during Trump's speech where he declared a national emergency. So that's kind of impressive to start.
Yeah.
But the deal there is that it was after the horrible fucking Thursday, and then the Fed injected 1.5 trillion, which I guess we don't have the setup yet
Can we
where we can
repeat
pull
that
up
number?
live stuff. Yeah, 1.5 trillion. All of us are looking at
With a
notifications
T,
thinking
trillion.
it's a typo. Because, like, the people who put out those, like, updates and those notifications on a phone, they're just some intern, and they fuck up.
Yeah.
And sometimes they fuck up big, but trillion.
$1,500 billion.
And so, wait, make the point about relating it to the housing crisis.
Well, in 2008, we had the huge bailout, right? Which kind of made a little bit of sense. You could put arguments, for how it was good in the short term, maybe possibly damaging long term. That was only $700 billion. I say only now. Because we've really escalated things a bit, I would say. This is more than double that.
Easy.
More than double. And how long did it take?
It took 30. It took about 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
For all the money that we just put in to go straight back down the drain.
Yeah, damn it. We'll post that shit when we go back and edit it, and we're going to throw up some on-screen graphics at least, because that graph is nuts. That graph is nuts.
I think it's funny, though, because we talked about it last week, I have a lot of friends that are Bernie Sanders supporters. All of them said we could have paid off college loans.
Yeah.
We could have just instantly just wiped off all our college debt.
I've never really been one to talk about those things, but yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I don't think that's so liberal anymore. The conservative and liberal platforms and agendas want us to keep staying in these separate, this is a liberal value, this is a conservative value. Nobody thinks it's not conservative anymore to actually put money where it should fucking go.
No,
all of the new age
places.
conservatives are 1.5 trillion straight to Wall Street. That probably fucking sucks for the rest of us.
Probably.
Yeah, but hey, I'm a person who's on both sides of that fence because capitalism's fucking great.
Yes.
American capitalism, what you can do business-wise to make your own fucking money, phenomenal.
Land of the free, baby.
Yeah, but, everybody's working to be where they're at.
Yeah.
Everybody has a business is working to receive that $1.5 trillion bailout. So, I don't always see it as so far away. I intend to get rich as fuck, and I would like a bailout.
Plans.
Well, you think about it, but then 1.5 trillion. Wasn't it Italy that gave everybody $1,000 stipend or something? 1,000 whatever it was. They didn't have to pay their mortgages.
Build the wall. Build the wall.
All right, so Italy was quarantined, and their housing market was about to crash, so no one over there is paying mortgages.
They said you didn't have to pay mortgages on Monday.
And good on them. That would never, ever happen here. And I understand that we have a way larger country and it's way different, a lot more obstacles,
Yes.
but that's pretty incredible.
That's an interesting point. That's one thing I always say. We get compared to every fucking country that's ever done anything, but there's never been a country like us that's had to handle the things we have to handle in scale.
Yeah.
Like gun violence. When people tell me about gun control in Australia, I'm like, okay, there's probably something to take from that, but also Australia, dude.
It's Australia.
There are so many millions of people here. I always talk about how
I think I could be wrong on the numbers here, and I'm not Wikipedia. I think they have 30 million citizens.
what they have.
Yeah, in Australia.
let's
Totally.
we can totally
But the
look
land
at
mass
that.
is close.
I got this.
We've got Google.
But what's interesting is no matter where you look and you compare that to 350 million people, that's the last census, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Dude, we have 2 major platforms and everyone's supposed to subscribe to them. I don't give a shit how people live with their politics, but I care about how the media does
Even
it.
better.
Not even 25.
24.6.
They're probably at 25 now, right? It's been
I don't
3
know.
years.
Oh yeah, this is
How come censuses are always so many years behind? I guess it's just that data accumulation is so fucking hard
25
to do.
Apparently,
million.
Matt doesn't know this,
25
but we
million.
take a census every 10 years.
It's not 5?
So it's
Why do we do? We have the internet. I don't subscribe to. I don't
don't
subscribe.
understand.
I don't subscribe to
It's
these
the
beliefs.
government, dude.
Everybody tells everybody to go vote or something.
You see-
tell everyone to get a computer and fucking do the census.
Matt's fallen into the deep trap of rational thinking.
Yeah,
It's
no
a problem.
You can't do that anymore,
clear.
man.
You can't count on everyone to have a computer. You can count on everybody to be able to go to the library. Every library has computers, dude.
Who goes to the library?
Run a census.
When was the last time you went to the library?
Yeah, when's the last time, man?
Well, I mean,
you even
My-
say-
no, no,
I
mine
write
is OSU.
news, so I've been to a lot of libraries, but that's not normal.
Oh, big,
But it-
big guy over
Yeah,
there.
this guy's
But-
trying
He
to
reads
high
books,
stepping
man.
over here.
He reads-
Dude, the thing about libraries is that's where people fucking go in poor communities.
Is it though?
Yes. Dallas.
I feel like
That's the only reason I've been to a
I
library in the
feel
last
like they
10
play
years.
Fortnite.
Ooh.
They
I'd rather
should.
play Fortnite than play do the census. We're
They
being
should,
honest.
dude. Dallas has like that huge. I mean, shit. You're more equipped to talk about this than me. Dallas has a couple huge esports teams. It's funny that shit's working into
is.
high schools and people
They're
are doing
building an arena. In
They
Fort
are.
Worth.
It's going to be
I
huge.
believe.
Arlington.
Arlington. I'm sorry.
Huge. It's going to be
Which is
huge.
It's gonna be huge.
Fucking lit, dude. I'm a big fan of just watching some game streaming. Dude, I was telling
Oh, yeah.
I was
We're
telling
gonna
him
have to
this
start
earlier.
betting on it.
It's not, dude. I love video game. Dude, I will. I 5,000,000% will. I will be betting on COD World League, and I should have been already.
Dude, I've been betting consistently on sports, but I think I'm going to have to switch over to esports, man.
So fun.
Who's going to get the most kills in this
Can
COD
we not
match?
talk about sports? That's kind of a soft subject.
That leads us perfectly into another bit. They canceled everything. There's
Cancel
nothing,
culture.
There's nothing going on. We've all seen the memes of people losing their shit on bowling.
Wow.
Hey. So we've all heard about buying the dip, right? So speaking of this sports thing, I had a buddy. I can't take this idea as my own. It's genius, though.
Okay.
Hear me out, boys. We start an underground cockfighting ring.
Wow.
I love
People,
this idea.
people crave sport, right?
Okay.
The people need entertainment. We keep it local. We keep it low key.
Okay.
Maybe the chickens we use are from China, and they have the canola. We can't do dogs because Michael Vick.
We got a real idea
Sore
over
subject.
Yeah, but
Michael Vick.
just something to think about.
Michael Vick got flamed over that shit still within the last 2 months.
So, yeah, because he was.
I mean, no,
NFL
like not that.
Deservingly.
That's the thing. The thing about social media that's interesting is people have to answer for everything they've done for the rest of time. People didn't used to
Okay.
have to do that.
That's fair.
Y'all forgot about Ted Cruz.
fair.
Here's the thing. I think we're in a crazy time, and I don't know how I really feel, but at some point, the internet's impact, people can't hide everything they've done in like their digital trail, and so you'll get at some point more honest media and politicians because they just couldn't hide all the shit.
Joe
they did.
Rogan talks
like the Betos of the world who got DUIs and B&Es.
Yeah.
You can't hide that.
Well, he doesn't have to hide it. He just doesn't talk about it. I remember watching when he was running for Texas Senate. Somebody asked him, like, he was like a Ted Cruz supporter or something. He took his shirt off and he was like, tell me about your DUI, like in the crowd. And he just acted like he didn't even say anything.
That's so wild.
Like,
These guys
that's
are
all you have to do.
bullshitters.
Like,
Genius.
he gets
bullshit,
added on
dude.
social media and he's just going to keep scrolling. Like, oh, this
Such-
guy said
such
you did so good today. I'm going to retweet that one. So this guy over here is saying, remember that time you ran over and killed somebody?
I think
Like,
Trump's made it pretty clear that you can say whatever the hell you want. I mean, like,
that's fair.
you can.
That kind of ties us into the Biden thing. He was telling that guy off, and my first reaction was, "Damn, he's getting in someone's face." My second thought was, "This is going to be a hell of a fall."
Yes.
With them talking back and forth and being willing to cuss. Someone said to me, "It's going to be the first campaign, whatever election that we'll see live cussing on TV," and I was like, "Damn, you're dead right. You're
Does part
dead
of y'all
right."
kind of feel for Biden? Like,
In what?
because I feel
way?
like he's
In what way?
I have a
he's
feeling, I don't know.
constantly humiliating himself. And do you think anyone in his inner circle are like? I feel like he's definitely oblivious to it because, like, I mean, I'm actually being serious.
No,
Do you think,
I mean, yeah. Everything
like,
when people
I know-
joke that much about the dementia thing, I see the signs.
I wasn't going to use that word. But
I see the sign. Everybody sees those signs.
I mean,
The amount of we will get a ticker.
Something's up.
We'll get a ticker
Something.
for next episode on how many times Biden has said he's in the wrong place for a campaign event.
My name is Joe
I
Biden, and
understand-
I'm running for the U.S. Senate.
dude, I'm all for it though.
Oh.
As a person who just likes a goof and a good time, these debates, holy hell,
We said this
gonna
last
be-
week.
yeah.
I said, dude, he's
Dude.
going to make for such good content.
bro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna pour myself a fat cocktail and I'm gonna kick my feet up and I'm going to enjoy every debate the same way I did in 2016. So these guys are way more into politics than I am. I'm here for a good time, and honestly, politics just pissed me off. But we're on the topic. So in 2016, I had a ball. I followed the whole election, the whole thing. I watched anything to do with the race because Trump.
It was gold.
He's a comedian. He's
polarizing.
He's a natural born comedian.
Here's the thing: you've never seen somebody run the stage at scale like that.
So I kind of vowed to myself that for the next 4 years while he's in office, I will literally not read anything to do with politics, and I've actually stuck to it pretty much. Like anything crazy. I know at all is because of them. Because I noticed that I was getting emotionally invested, and it was just pissing me off. But your boy is pumped.
Dude, I've been there.
I'm back. I'm so back for 2020. Like this is
drop the mic.
It's gonna be good, man.
Alec, let me get your take on this. So, in between the time that we were doing the political website stuff in college and now, did you have a falling out with politics at all? Because I went through exactly what he went through, except for I was staying engaged after the election. I saw for 2 years how they just wouldn't give up as a media, like attacking everything. You know, all this dishonesty, and then it started coming from both sides. And for like the third and a good portion of last year, dude, I just like tuned out. And I still am at some degree, I'm very tuned out of anything mainstream news. I don't watch any of those main channels besides maybe a little bit of Tucker.
Tucker's good.
I forgot he existed.
I just don't like people who are full of shit and only fight one side. If you don't have something valuable to say contrary to what your regular platform is, I don't fucking believe you, dude. I don't believe anything you're saying.
And look, I think even I'm full of shit. So I'm definitely not going to listen to someone
else. Always think I'm full of shit. You know, like when you get on a podcast and you're like, the nature of being a human is like, what do I have to say? You do have something to say.
If I could go back and listen to half of the shit I say, I'd probably be very upset.
Oh, you know, they always say, what if they tattooed every word you ever said on your body? I was like, Christ.
It'd be a problem.
Oh, dude.
I'm running out of room over here. Like, where are we going?
You know, rabbit hole, but they have everything we've ever texted data-wise. So
China does, for
that's
sure.
terrifying. Our own fucking government.
China's having a ball.
Okay, so that was a really good spin-off. Let's take that into the Corona conspiracy.
Canola.
Now, we say
we
say Corona conspiracy, and you could have thought of like probably 5 million different things because everybody's down to find this.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about how this is kind of like a clickbait headline you've been seeing, but everyone's like, oh, why do these viruses always pop up on election years? A little bit of a fact check. Ebola, 14 through 16, so it kind of ended in 16. That was the election year, so 2 years before that. SARS, 2002 to 2004, so 2 years before.
Are we talking
to the election? Yes.
Specifically.
And so people are like, oh, isn't it interesting how they pump us full of diseases on election year? Well, yes, also they planned for the 2 years ahead of time if it is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Interesting. I just think that's interesting. Because not to say that...
Do we believe it?
I think there was no doubt that this virus had some work on it.
So you think it was intentionally...
Dude,
think so?
I don't mean to be the conspiracy theorist, but somebody got charged with espionage for sneaking something out of MIT to China to what's supposed to be the Wuhan facility. I'll fact check this and I'll link it and I'll put it in the bio, everything. But there's so much you can read into if you're like not using Google. You got to use some other platforms, dude.
Ground news.
I mean, like DuckDuckGo just for searching, like in a search bar and finding shit that isn't. Google hides results. They don't give a fuck about being. They don't care about being a quality.
I'm gonna tell you something really interesting about Google
engine anymore.
So, about a year and a half ago, I went to Hong Kong for fun, for vacation. I went to go see a festival. Anyway, this is literally about 2 weeks before the riots began. I actually stayed in a place called Causeway Bay, which is where the very first riot was. Anyway, I had always heard about like China, like the government hiding things on the internet and like suppressing their people. I have the Google app on my phone. There was a million things. I would pull up Google and I had like questions like local restaurants, like whatever it may be. And half of my searches were blocked. And I knew they were blocked.
But the links still appeared?
No, the links would not appear. So it would literally appear like I would search certain things that I had searched in the States back at home. And I knew what would pop up first. But while I was in Hong Kong, like while I was there, I would search things and those links would not appear. And if I type those specific websites in, they wouldn't even pop up. It would act like they didn't even exist.
Well, so
the censorship is very, very real. And that's like,
dude, fuck.
And I'm just talking about like, I was there for, I think 9 days. And it
noticed that
was
quick.
fascinating. Yeah, I brought it up to my friends. I was like, "Hey guys, try searching this in your feed."
Yeah.
And Google would block it.
We talked about this. I've talked about this with y'all separately, but all that Winnie the Pooh memeing stuff that happened with the Chinese president, whatever, that ended up getting like Twitter banned in China.
Yeah.
And then South Park made a joke about all that stuff when this happened like 3-4 months ago, just all the Hong Kong protesting stuff.
Yeah.
And then he banned South Park in China. You think about that like level of stuff. South Park is probably one of the best artistic mediums of like news.
They don't give a shit.
But they harp on everything and they do
do
it quickly and they're like it's like recent. Dude,
They just don't.
I think
I appreciate.
what are their names?
I-
Matt Stone and what? Those guys are fucking geniuses, dude.
To be honest, I'm not. I really don't watch the show, but
No, me neither. Me neither. But I am totally tuned into how they're always on the current events ball.
Yeah.
And they're always saying the alternative view. Dude, you think they could spin off and have a news media agency?
Imagine being
easily.
part of that writing process.
It would be so
That
fun,
would be a
man.
fucking blast.
The thing is,
Yeah.
they figured out a way to monetize just being an
What
informed
everyone else
individual.
is thinking.
Yes,
They
dude.
just made it fun.
Every person
Right,
watches it
yeah.
and they're like, "Oh my god, I thought that to myself like in the kitchen last night."
It's like what's that movie about North Korea with James Franco and Seth Rogen, and it got banned.
This
It's
is
talking about the.
why am I blanking? I love that movie, man.
I screwed up.
It's okay.
I should have known this before.
Hopefully, y'all know what we're
know what
talking
I'm talking
about.
about. I watched it the
Shit's
other day.
so fucking good.
But yeah, it absolutely shits on the supreme leader. That's what we.
Let's see.
We can.
man, we
Just type in
covered
North
some
Korea.
really
If it
good shit
types in
there.
North Korea, what pops up? The interview. The
The
interview.
interview.
Yes.
That's the one. Great film.
So everything we've spoken about basically so far is gloom and doom.
Is it?
I'm going to present a few headlines and then my buddy's comments. I have a buddy, Ryan. We talk a lot about politics in a group text. He said this. Interesting article showing maybe it isn't that bad. New cases already seriously tapered off in China. What is ADK against a population of 1.5 billion? Excluding age 60 plus, I'm starting to consider this is just another media ratings bonanza. I can see that. But then you think about Italy and you think about what Alec had just fucking said. Dude, people are coming back in China now and they're finding that people are re-catching the virus.
That's fascinating.
That's a bit scary because
That's
I
actually
haven't
terrifying.
I haven't heard that once.
So I
Alec,
am
explain,
reading here that shows that a doctor said that as patients were leaving in February, people were still wearing their oxygen tanks. They were being carried out of the hospital, even though they were carried out of the hospital. And
Very
yeah.
cured.
Yeah, very cured over here. I don't understand how you can get literally walked out and say that you're fine.
Well, it's interesting.
Like,
Let me read these China statistics. 0 to 19 years, 2%. 20 to 29, 5%. 30 to 39, 9%. 40 to 49, 12%. 50 to 59, 13%. 60 to 69 years, 16%. 70 to 79, 18%. 80
rate. Okay, infection rate.
Yeah.
That's just infection rate. But it's interesting because what Italy is saying is that people are coming in of all ages.
It's different there.
Yeah.
It seems like the percentage of people dying is different.
it
Now,
seems
does that have
way
something to
worse.
do with their health care system and like the treatments?
I
or, like,
guarantee it. That's why I have issues with like
I don't know.
how bad is it really, dude? Italy is horrible. China does not value human lives as a government, but they were going crazy handling these people, throwing people into vans. Dude,
Burning people.
They keep saying that buildings are falling, but we know they're fucking demolishing them.
yeah. There's
Quarantine
videos of lighting
centers
them on
and stuff
fire.
like that.
Yeah.
Here's what's weird. They said that they're closing down those temporary hospitals they threw up at the very beginning of all this. That would speak to really good things. Considering the latest headline this morning you brought up,
Yeah.
and that people are coming back with it,
Yeah.
and like it's actively,
You're getting reinfected.
that's terrifying.
Yeah. You're getting cured and
terrifying.
you're coming back with it. It doesn't make any sense because like the rate of getting it is higher, but you don't die from it as often. So you would think like if you're getting it a second time, maybe you have a higher chance of dying.
I'm no medical professional here. Let's make that very clear. I feel like everyone says that, right? Yeah. Like, don't take my medical advice.
You're not WebMD is what you're telling me?
I'm not
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, I mean,
worse than that.
Jesus.
But
No, we're all
from
better
what
than
I
WebMD.
understand, and again, I'm very well versed in the medical field. From what I understand, if you contract a virus and then you heal from it, if you truly develop the antibodies or whatever the medical term is,
Right.
you shouldn't be able to get the virus again. So
well, so that means it's super evolving.
So maybe well, it's either super evolving, which seems unlikely, but hell, I don't know. These little bugs are smart.
Seriously, dude.
Or are the symptoms so far gone that they're like, you're healed, we don't have time for you anymore?
Okay, so this is interesting. We've talked about this in a couple past podcasts. It can lay dormant for 2 months.
Yeah,
you are.
That's anyone who's around somebody for 2 months.
Said you are contagious with the disease 5 days before you show symptoms.
Before you show any symptoms. Symptoms are like day 7 or 8 or some
terrifying.
Shit. Terrifying.
I'm trying to hold in a cough right now.
Well, so
watch out.
Experts keep saying try and drink water and keep everything moist, because if your throat is dry and you're coughing, it travels so much easier. And they said it's comparable to influenza, how easy it is to pass along through the air. That's horrible.
You can just walk into a room.
Also, people keep doing, it's not the flu. This many people have died from the flu. So? What's your fucking point? Who's to say that the same amount of people don't die in a year time span when this is all said and done? This won't be done for months.
Bro, people die eating cheeseburgers.
That's true.
Obesity. This is why I really know.
That's a funny thing.
I'm gonna bite my tongue what I was about to say, because a few days ago I made some jokes. It's part of the reason I'm here. Actually, I had a bit of a little Instagram story, a bit of a rant.
Oh, and we thought it was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Funniest thing I saw. Though.
Actually, it's objectively funny. But I don't think I would make the same jokes today. Basically, I was talking about how it's not a big deal if CVS Pharmacy promoted an advertisement saying, come here and get a free injection of coronavirus, I would go. Now, I still hold to that. Just so I can beat that shit. I'm so looking forward to the moment where I can put on my resume, Mr. COVID-19 survivor.
No, dude, I'm
put it in my Twitter bio, and dude, I'm gonna
verify.
I'll probably tattoo it on my forearm.
COVID-19.
COVID-19 survivor.
No, bro, dude, I'm just give me the virus.
It'll be like Nazi Germany. They all had a number code on their wrist.
Give me the virus, and I have a book.
Are we going too far? But,
anything that happens to you bad in this world, write a book about it, and then you'll make money.
I'm gonna put COVID-19 on my wrist.
I hate that they call it that. We've talked about that.
Oh, I love it.
It was the Wuhan virus.
It shows how the media.
That's racist.
It's not.
Racist. That's racist.
It is the city that it started in.
But CNN said it was racist.
Fucking bastards.
Or was it MIT? That's what we said.
Oh, jeez.
This is
I
where
don't even know where to think.
That's where the virus allegedly was trafficked out of.
That's fair.
Allegedly, that guy was charged with espionage, but allegedly, our news doesn't care.
At the end of the day, we all know it's Trump because, again, shock the gays.
Yeah, he can't do it himself because they really
he
get
can't do
it
it himself.
He can die.
Genius,
Dude, it's an
really.
election year. He has to win.
Trump's playing chess. Okay, and we're playing checkers.
Do you ever consider how, there's a real set of people out there in America who are very, very worried that Pence might shock them to death for being gay, and you're making a joke out of it?
He might.
You might get some ads on Twitter later today.
I feel like
no free ads except for me.
I feel like it's been long enough that a lot of people probably don't get that joke, but Pence's whole thing is that electroshock therapy can cure gays of their. They can cure gays of their ailment.
It's pretty intense stuff.
Or one.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
It's just what's
assume
weird.
Someone's gender while they're gay. That's like a double.
Dude,
it's a double bad.
I'm all about
the Twitter mob is gonna get us now.
I'll break
dude.
all the rules. That's why I'm here.
So we talked about the whole reaction to sports and all of these music festivals and stuff getting canceled.
The music festival is what really breaks my heart, man. I had tickets for a show Thursday to go see Chami.
South by Southwest, dude. We talked about that last time. And then I also talked about Ultra because that was the biggest name that I had heard from somebody at work.
I'm actually stoked Coachella got postponed because I don't like the people who go to that festival.
No, they're horrible people. And then, Ultra probably gets a little bit that way. No. Nobody ever gives a shit about Coachella,
No.
It's kind of like
except the people who go.
Wait, did y'all see
Coachella's
Elon Musk shit? He was flaming them for going mainstream.
Yes.
He was flaming them. Elon Musk was talking shit about Coachella going mainstream in the last few years.
He wants them to bring back
the Coachella Twitter account responded to him with a GIF of Jaden Smith performing on a hanging Tesla by chains at Coachella in the last 2 years. And Elon goes, well played. Because he paid for a fucking Tesla car to be hung on chains and have someone perform music on top of it. Don't flame a festival for being mainstream when you're selling advertising to them, you son of a bitch. But also, I understand that he probably has a lot of internal issues with being famous. I guarantee you he fucking hates
Elon?
it. Yes. He's such a genius. He's trying to save the world, dude. And he's constantly answering. He's constantly
trying to get
answering
us to Mars.
Well,
and
here's
save
one
the
thing.
world.
He's trying to save the world for himself. It may not be for us. He's trying to live forever.
I mean, he's already in the Matrix, so at this point, it doesn't really matter.
I think
he's not
this guy-
actually.
I think he runs the simulation.
Dude, Neuralink, he's gonna live forever. He's gonna live forever, dude.
He might already be dead. And this is like the second part of him. Like that's probably why he's so smart already.
Watch the canola kill him.
Here's something a lot of people don't know. Hopefully more people know than I think. Elon's claim to fame was PayPal.
Yeah.
Sold that shit, became a big
I
rich
completely
fella.
forgot that until you just said it.
90s, late 90s.
Yeah.
It's like the Napster days.
So he's done
PayPal.
like what do you call it? Financial management, like getting in with payment systems.
Yep.
The Boring Company is doing all the tunnels for stuff under LA.
Tesla.
Neuralink, brain to body AI. Tesla, SpaceX.
Yeah.
He has other things too. I can't think of them.
What a beast.
Fucking crazy. That guy is like the superhero movies in 200 years from now. If he does die, I doubt he will. But but if he does, are gonna
He's
be
already
crazy, man.
Tony Stark, man. He's already Tony Stark. I feel like he's just hiding. He's just hiding the.
Except for he like
Whatever it is.
he hangs out with Grimes and just like does super
hangs out
hallucinations. Yeah, sorry. Having baby.
They telecommunicate. They sit in chairs across from each other.
He was like, "Ma'am, let me incept you with child," and then he's just like,
I just want you all to, if you've never heard of Grimes is a musician. By the way, I had one of the most like religious musical experiences in my life, taking a bunch of edibles. Watching Grimes at Austin City Limits in like 2013, like I couldn't move.
dude, I went and listened to
Couldn't
her.
move.
She's fantastic, by the way. Her music's actually cool.
really
It's
good.
pretty like gothic and eerie, but like
No, she's really good. As soon as all that shit with the going private at 420 happened, I went and looked into all of her stuff because found out about them dating, whatever. Cool.
the right cocktail of substances will really get you thinking about some shit. So if you listen to Grimes, so he's
People
dating now,
always,
and just look into it.
dude. People
Alex
always.
Jones, look into it.
The perfect segue for
Jesus.
that. The perfect segue for that is when
Obama killed the
Elon
frogs.
when Elon was on that JRE
Frogs are gay.
episode. The frogs are gay.
Frogs
are gay.
Mike Pence.
Trump. Pence just shocks frogs now. Shit, dude.
Bring out the red button.
That's funny. I don't even remember what my point was going to be with that.
I think we were going into sports, and somehow we were going to tie all this into
sports.
Well, because we have more
Rudy
later.
Gobert. I think that's what we were tying it into.
Do you want to hit that Pop Sports Minute right now?
I think we should. I mean, we've covered
Let's do it.
we've covered most of this. I'm thinking Rudy Gobert has now infected Donovan Mitchell, the little girl that took his autograph. Somehow Serge Ibaka kissed the ball that he was holding for a free throw, and Serge Ibaka didn't get it, which makes no
I was
sense.
going to say I didn't hear about Ibaka.
Oh, I would have
Yeah.
been sad if.
Yeah, no, Ibaka's really cool. Would have been. I have his jersey from OKC days.
Not that I'm not that I'm not sad about Rudy or anything. No, fuck Rudy.
Dude, Rudy, like, Woj tweeted that everyone hates him now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if
Wait,
you see
wait,
Rudy
wait.
Gobert gets traded.
Who made the point today? It was you, right, Hunter?
What?
No. It was.
I support Gobert.
Well, no, it was the part of my take joke or
Hot
whatever
take.
that was. Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
like-
wait,
Look,
do you remember that point?
maybe. So what? Okay,
Basically,
so
that
what-
a lot of people would have made that joke.
What he did is like, okay, look.
I agree
In
with this.
hindsight, everything's 2020, right? So what he did, he's an asshole.
Well, in the video, he looks
Right?
like an asshole.
He looks stupid.
But it was
Rubbing
also
mics doing all that.
Facts.
But let's be real. Like, I'll be honest with myself. That is 100% something I would do.
Yes.
Speaking back to the little Instagram story, the video I posted online about me making fun of the virus, saying like, I literally was making jokes about like, yeah, people die. Like, who cares? Like, I would have done the same exact thing. Now, in hindsight, because we didn't think it was that serious, but a lot changed in 24 hours. I
It
mean,
was
like,
very quick.
It was,
So,
it was rapid.
for
It was
anybody
one
who
of those-
hasn't, if you haven't seen this video somehow, get on Twitter, dude, or something. But Rudy Gobert on a conference 1 or 2 days before, I think it was like 2 nights before or something.
Yeah.
He gets up he sits down and then he kind of gets up and touches every mic that's on the stand as a joke, just to be funny.
Don't worry about it.
Ends
I don't
up,
have it.
ends
Fine.
up, was it Thursday night? The
Yeah.
Thursday night Jazz Thunder game gets postponed. And
Mavericks
then,
won the last game of the season. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Go
He's our
Mavs.
basketball guy because I'm not really a good basketball guy. Dude, basketball though, best athletes.
Let's stick to the point.
Hey, that's a great point. I also don't even remember my point.
I don't know, man. Soccer?
No, so I was gonna say that's where I always they run so much,
Soccer
they're
and
so
NBA.
fit.
Yeah.
So when I say it, I mean wow factor.
That's fair.
The dunks. You don't get that anywhere else. You get someone dunking over a field goal post. That's not impressive.
Can you imagine Giannis playing wide receiver for the Cowboys?
Well, you know, like everybody always
Why
talks
should
about.
Cowboys. Hey, go Chiefs, by the way. Lifetime fan.
We are a Dallas
hey, yeah.
podcast, and I'm surrounded by Chiefs and Patriots.
These are the kind of Chiefs fans that you're actually happy for. God, dude. Well, shit. You know how it goes now.
Yeah.
Like me being a Patriots fan, lots of bandwagon people. Him being a real Chiefs fan, you probably had to deal with a lot of fucking bandwagoners in the last 2 years too.
Dude, I don't even care.
But like,
Mahomes, dude. I don't care.
Mahomes.
you know,
And
hey,
I'll
we
defend
can.
Tyreek Hill all day. Just, I'm that guy. All right? I don't care. I don't care what you know what?
Idiot.
Like, hey, look, did he break his kid arm? Maybe. Does he run like a 4.28 40? Yeah. So,
Faster.
Oh, you are going to get destroyed.
4.28 was Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson just ran a 4.28. Everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And then Tyreek. All right, so
He literally could have ran with Usain Bolt.
Tyreek came to OSU when I was still playing, and that running back coach that coached multiple very good OSU running backs, he said for months before, he was like, "This kid we're about to get is the fastest person I've ever seen on a field." The first thing I ever saw Tyreek Hill do, he caught a 10-yard stop route, and he turned around. He had 10 yards depth-wise to the two safeties who had 5 yards between them. He split them for like a 70-yard touchdown. And both of those safeties ran track at Oklahoma State.
Walk-on football player at Oklahoma
Yeah.
State for one season.
That shit sucked because Emmanuel Ogba, who just won starting D lineman on the Chiefs, whooped my ass every day.
I used to wake up at 6 a.m. to drive him to strength training practice because he was too drunk from the night before. So
Yeah, that was
tells you how his career
Sundays.
didn't last very long, but he was there.
Oh, yeah.
He was there.
Dude, fuck that shit. Being non-scholarship was horrible. Because at that point, you don't get money. But like you get like bowl break per diem, which was lit.
Per diem.
Oh, dude, no, you don't get any fucking money if you're not on scholarship. But dude, scholarship. The way those kids ate, they had steak, top of the line steak and meat every day, like at like the top floor
I mean,
cafeteria.
they have to. They gain like 25 pounds as a freshman. Like,
No,
it's
you know
stupid.
where that, like, you know, all the money they talk about not giving to athletes, you know where it's going, dude. It's going to every other thing they do.
It's going to Wall Street.
They have, yeah, right. Jesus, I mean,
Oh, no.
that, you know, we're going to be able to have an entire series of shit talking about money in college sports because people, just millions, man.
What do you think about March Madness canceled? Basketball, one of my favorite sports, canceled.
We're talking about all these things playing.
NCAA said seniors can come back.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I think OSU, when everybody was healthy, we went on like an 8-2 run to end the season. I'm just saying, Oklahoma State has the #1 recruiting class next year in the Big 12. Go Pokes. Cade Cunningham, with all of our seniors coming back, leads OSU to the Elite Eight.
So, Jayhawk fan here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not a good OSU fan. They break my heart every year.
I thought it's been a long time. I remember 2008, Mario Chalmers fucking dreamed it. Derrick Rose choked. Love the guy, but he choked. Thank you, Memphis, for... But I really thought, man, it's been a while. But I can't get that lucky, right? I can't have the Chiefs and the Jayhawks win in the same year. That's just 2020 is not going to let that happen. So.
No way, dude. You know what's crazy to always consider? You have so many pro athletes going full tilt to win one prize. And like, it's just crazy that this year was such a good NFL playoffs. That's the most fun I've ever had. And my team didn't even make it past the first round.
I think it was because all the teams kind of had a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically. The
I
Titans
thought we were
going
getting. I was terrified to play them.
I was scared of the Titans.
Derrick
You should be.
Yeah,
You should be.
Derrick Henry, God damn.
Their defense didn't get hyped up as much as they should because Derrick Henry was a monster.
Back-to-back 300-yard games.
You talk about we've talked about his high school stuff, and then he went and destroyed at Bama, and then he, second, third, fourth year in NFL, smoke, so good.
Yeah. It's like tackling a school bus.
That's like if you had to tackle Predator,
Tackle
but
Predator.
like Predator lifted weights. Terrifying, dude. Besides that, on the Pop Sports Minute, one of those big Jazz names that, the OKC Thunder and Jazz game, Donovan Mitchell. That's a huge name in the NBA. So you talk about the ripple effect of how quickly. I was talking to Hunter earlier this morning about the global world we live in, economy, or just business, like whatever, sports. People all over the world train with each other. And then you see, you just have a professional sports league. You're throwing people on jets. You're sweating all over people, dude. Like, holy shit.
They're talking
You
about
think about
canceling the
that.
Olympics. I mean, like,
That's crazy.
We could look this up. When's the last time we didn't have the Olympics?
I was thinking that too, man,
seriously.
because...
They have them in World War? I know at the very
don't know
beginning...
I actually
Germany
don't know. Well, because...
I think at the very beginning, Germany hosted like the last Olympics before Hitler was like, all right, I'm pushing the button, we're going to war.
Mr. Chula.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Like, I'm like 99% sure on that one.
Hitler would be having a
Well, because there was a hiatus, but Olympics started back in like ancient Rome,
Like
right?
2000.
Greece.
Greece,
I'm gonna
right
say
here.
2,000 years.
776 BC.
Is when it started.
Wait, when?
In Greece, 776 BC.
Yo.
Yeah, so I was gonna say it's
Those
been
must
going
have
for
been
so long.
some fucking athletes.
Okay,
776.
through 393 AD, then it took 1,503 years for the Olympics to return. The first modern Olympics were held in Athens, Greece. That's lit that they kept it there. In 1896. Can you imagine? Well, here's the thing. I always think about what that was like in ancient Greece. Like you're watching like real, like what do you think those guys think about themselves? They're like, I'm a wrestler. These days, you have guys like they go to Oklahoma State, Big 12, like, Kansas, wherever. The best wrestling schools. Back then, I always think about like the development of sports. These guys are just like, let's scrap, dude.
They're just eating barley and drinking wine.
Hey, why is this different from every Friday we drink together? Well, because we'll get a crowd. We'll make it a sport, dude. It'll be the best thing ever. And then you have these Herculean motherfuckers wrestling.
Bro, they're probably like 160 pounds.
Well, that's the thing. Jerry Jones won a national championship at Arkansas University, and he was a tackle or guard.
What, in like the Civil War?
This was like Nam era. Asshole. You hate to see it because, hey,
I think
maybe if I lived in the 50s, dude, have a Super Bowl ring on my finger.
Dude, I think
I'm
I'd
just
rather...
joking.
Doubt it.
I
Think
I'd
about how
rather
different
watch
nutrition is.
What's it called? The ancient Rome, the cathedral. What's it called? I'm from Italy. I don't even know.
The start with a P.
Sorry, I was zoned out.
No, the
I
giant
don't know the
circle
words.
thing where they used to have like fights, like gladiators.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I just don't know
Colosseum,
that. Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
I'd rather back in those
Mr.
days.
Italiano.
I know. I'd rather watch the Colosseum fights than Olympics
Are you
back
sure
in that
though?
day.
Are you sure?
Dude, those guys were straight up killing each other.
That sounds like North Korea, man.
Damn.
Dude, North Korea, they just shoot you. These guys get swords and maybe like
No,
a
I think
sickle.
They put them in pits with like tigers.
You wouldn't want to see that?
No. Dude, okay.
Maybe
That's
like,
interesting.
Okay,
No.
Tyreek Hill, the cheetah versus an actual cheetah.
he gets fucked.
If he has a spear, you wouldn't want to watch that?
No,
Dude,
come on.
what's funny is like every single person who lived like plus 50 years in our past would be like, you guys are such pussies.
I know. 2,000 years ago, I'm down. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, no,
front
but
row.
you're living in a culture
But, like-
every day where you're like, hey, they hang people on Sundays at 3. Let's go check it out. And people do this.
Yo, grab the beer. We're going to the hill.
Well, shit, they don't have TV, so what else are you going to watch?
Honestly.
Like, what, you're going to go freaking... Like, the thing that's
You go
interesting
to
to
the
me
fields at work.
is no time has been able to see what everyone else is up to like us. And so we get ideas like, I could do that. I could make jokes to people for money. Like, I could, like, do podcasts and, like, make money. People back then,
Twitter,
dude,
yeah.
they were like, what, I'm going to go hang out in the barn? Dead serious,
Honestly, it
dude.
kind of sounds like a ball.
It would be a
Life
lot
moves
better
a
on
little
my
too
mental
fast.
stress.
You don't want to watch the cheetah fight an actual cheetah, but you'd rather
Still
go
on this.
sit
This
in a
guy.
barn.
This guy. Are you
Dude,
infected?
imagine Tiger Woods given a golf club and he goes, all right, it's Tiger versus Tiger.
You're a clown, dude. That's so funny. He'd be able to put golf balls through that tiger's eyes.
Like, seriously.
I do not associate with these two. Am I right?
The Rock, and they put in a giant
you should talk
roll
about that Tiger Woods tweet though. Like everybody's overreacting to everything, talking about virus
the
stuff.
Tiger Woods tweet.
The Tiger Woods tweet.
Oh
Hey,
shit!
where is this
Never
coming
mind.
from?
This is back to Kobe Bryant stuff. This is back to Kobe Bryant stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
No, never mind that.
Yeah,
never
we're
mind
not
that.
with that. That's a soft spot for people.
No.
All right.
Well, apparently, that's the thing. On this podcast, we aren't scared to just talk about shit. A lot of people are.
Who's that on your phone?
Well, that's Casey.
Who's Casey? Alec has a very provocative photo.
I do not have a very provocative photo. Casey, if you watch this, hello. It is not a provocative photo.
Do you actually know her?
I do. We're going to the tulip field later today. If she watches this before,
they're
it's
like-
supposed
they're
to be
like- they're like
supposed to be a
actually
trick. It's supposed to be a
it's not
treat, little
provocative.
treat. But
It's a
Look
gym.
it up.
It's a gym picture.
it is. It's a gym picture. Oh,
can't see.
You can't. You can kind of see right there, but yeah.
Not for your eyes.
I was not ready for that one. I was just kind of like,
They're gonna quarantine and chill later.
yeah. Yeah, I got my hazmat suit for later, dude. It's pretty wild.
I did that
Pretty
last
wild.
week.
Oh, we'll
Good
flash
time.
that. We'll flash that meme on there.
Good time.
we'll flash that meme in the corner.
We're
of the
gonna post
screen.
that exact his wallpaper.
So, we kind of talked about how China, there's something that seemed good, but with that virus coming back, sounds really, really bad. To go perfectly in hand with that, I think it was as of this morning or last night, Spain expected to announce lockdown. And then it gives us a little, this was just a top Twitter story. Total number of global cases has surpassed 138,000, including more than 5,000 fatalities now. Over 69,000 patients are reported to have recovered. Well, that'll be interesting to see when, like, talking China. Sorry, there's a little note there. So we're talking China.
Very obvious.
Everybody's just gonna come back with it. Jesus, dude. That.
No.
Again, I legitimately, again, medical professional here. If you eradicate the virus, or eradicate's the wrong word for sure, but like if you survive it, like if your body defeats it, like
Just leave me alone.
no, but you shouldn't be able to get it again, right?
Dude,
like
I don't know. They're saying that you can. It's not proven yet, but they're saying people are coming back with the same symptoms.
We
What
don't
else
know
would they
shit
have?
about virology, but it's weird that
virology.
it's kind of like
Put that in your notes.
that's like
I'm a virologist.
That's like if you, God, dude, that's like if you catch anything, you're still a carrier of it, but it just reactivates.
Yeah.
Unless it's just that they're going back out and they're living their life and they're re-catching it. But I don't know. That's weird.
Maybe Trump and Mike Pence will just go back and forth.
And then if people are coming back, that means the antibodies like that your body are creating aren't working. It's not good.
I just thought of something.
By any means. So what if you go around and you give a bunch of people COVID-19 injections and then it evolves?
So it's what, COVID-20?
It will evolve.
It's not COVID-19, it's
Right.
COVID-20. Like, this
And
is the
I
one that
also don't
turns you
even
into
know how
a
that
zombie.
works. They don't like they wouldn't give it a whole nother number, would they? They'd be like COVID-19 post mutation. Who the fuck knows?
No, it's got to
But
be.
still.
If it's a whole nother one, it's got to be COVID-20.
That's crazy, dude. That's
This is the one that
Does
turns
this
you
mean
into
there's been
zombies.
18
instantly.
other COVIDs before?
so.
I have
think,
no argument against it. Like, I can't argue no.
I guess I haven't even given that thought. I thought 19 stood for
Because
that.
the
end.
first case was like, I believe, like November.
That's why.
27th
That's
or
what I'm
something
saying.
like that.
I
So is that where
assumed
19
it was
came
the
from?
year. I think so.
Or is it
I
something?
think so.
We
Otherwise,
need
I
a
didn't even.
conspiracy button.
They were just like the
We
19th
need, like, a little
one.
sound in the background.
I almost got a soundboard together because
Yeah. Dude,
yours
I
I'm
need to
jealous
get
of.
it, man.
As you can tell, production is limited right now.
Oh, dude, there's so many things you have
All
to
right.
buy.
First
for
of
this
all,
shit.
we have great microphone stands. We have great audio quality thanks to these microphone stands. We're cooking.
One thing that's cool is the microphone I just got for us. It's not like these. It's multi-directional, so I can just plop it in there. That'll give us a lot of capability. Whoa! That'll give us a lot of capability with as we get more guests in here. That one I bought, you can hook in like 4 more mics besides just the mic it has.
I think I figured out if
Bob,
one of us
clip-on
gets
mics.
coronavirus, we need to immediately play.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I love that. I
every
love that
time somebody
show
gets
too.
that.
Have y'all watched Dexter?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So damn good.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So damn good. It upsets me when people say they don't like it. I'm like, well, what do you mean? It's a serial killer's account of life, and he's like almost a good person.
He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
He authentically only
Before
kills
he
people
murders
who kill
everyone.
people.
Yeah.
But also, Why are you God, Dexter? Who made you God?
Who didn't though?
Not God.
I mean, Elon Musk. He could have done it in the Matrix.
Somebody said something about Dallas or Texas a minute ago. We definitely talked about how
I need to go back. What are
the
we looking at
the
here?
virus stuff around DFW has picked up a little bit. There was the Frisco couple and their baby. They tested positive like
My friend's
earlier
parents
last week.
just both tested positive.
Oh shit! That's
Like,
good content right there.
Yeah, pretty freaky, man. One of my good friends, I'm sorry, not her parents, but my friend's roommate's parents. So they are currently quarantined in their apartment.
What city is
They're
that?
having people, Plano, technically, right on the
Plano?
coast. Plano, Frisco.
Oh,
About 20
shit.
minutes from Dallas for those of you.
For some reason, when you told me that story, I assumed they were from a different state.
No, she lives
Straight
right
up.
there in Legacy West. 2 minutes
Jesus,
from where, like,
dude.
literally half a mile from where I
Well,
was.
so okay, that couple and the 3-year-old child, that was the Frisco one.
Yeah, I remember. That.
We already hit on kind of some Oklahoma news, but all that shit up there, it
I
wasn't.
forgot
It wasn't just
Oklahoma's
Rudy. It wasn't just Rudy.
I will never go back to that state. It's a shithole.
It's a bottom tier state. Out of the 50 states, I've only been to like maybe half of them. That's a stretch, probably. Oklahoma.
I was gonna say I don't think I've even been to
Oklahoma's
half.
bottom tier for sure.
They're like last 3 in education. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
I'll go back.
Y'all
for football
remember
games.
just last year was all like the teacher strike stuff.
Yeah. No, their best teachers leave and come to Texas because we pay them almost twice as much over here.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
not twice as much. I don't want to get quoted on that, but
Isn't it crazy? Everything about American economy is supply and demand, right? Exactly what you're worth. But it's crazy what everything has deemed teachers worth. Should be more.
Should it though?
Well,
I don't feel so educated.
here's the
when I
thing.
go to school.
Here's the thing. No, that's what I mean.
yeah.
Exactly. Like people always think about should on how things should be if it was the best world. But for how things are, they get paid probably exactly how much
Yeah,
they should
I don't
get
mean to
paid.
talk down to teachers. Like,
Not at all.
I respect the hell out of it.
I think their job is extremely important. I just think the people who teach our teachers aren't that smart.
what would you rather have? So if you were a student today, would you rather have the internet? And for like almost all their classes are now becoming online. All my little brother's tests, quizzes, they're all online.
If
Would
we're
you rather
talking
have
long-
that,
if
or
we're
would you
talking
rather
still
have
in
how we
school.
had it?
Yeah. So if we're talking longevity, college did basically nothing for me.
Facts.
Right.
I learned code. That is I had 4 years, 2 years really where I sat down and learned code, and now I'll know those concepts forever. Besides that, sitting down,
Yeah, but
you're not learning that
but
much.
to the idea, like, should it all be online? I don't think so. Because
Yeah.
I can tell you,
I think that's just a different kind of learning.
it depends on the professor. So,
Yes.
like, I have
And the student.
I have a professor right now in particular that I like. He teaches a subject that's not very. It's Texas government. Like,
It's like
that's so Texas, by the way, that we're forced to take.
Dude,
Texas
did y'all have
government.
Texas history in middle
It's
school?
the country
I had
we
it in
live in.
7th
Yeah.
grade.
But anyway, the
7th or 8th
professor,
grade.
I love him. Like, it's the only class I have. It's an hour and 15 minutes twice a week that I legitimately am like focused and entertained. And he's a storyteller. He's good at what he does. Now, I don't like the school part of it, the grades. Like, I have to take exams still. But if I didn't know this man personally, if it was just Mr. not gonna say his name, like
Jones.
emailing me lectures, like, that would suck.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
But then there are other classes that certainly should be completely online.
Yeah.
Like, they're a waste of time to go to.
I think all of college, if I could go back, I could say that I learned everything that I needed to learn for what I do now in 1 year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Here's my thing.
Everything else
Or
was
outside
complete
of school.
bullshit.
Here's my
Yeah,
thing.
like, literally.
Something needs to happen between high schools and colleges where they figure out a truce that like you need to cover this shit so kids don't have to waste years of their life taking more prereqs. I would have straight up been a journalism English major if I didn't have to do another class where you had to write research papers. I tested out of all English in college and never did it again. And I guarantee you, I was fucking young. I didn't know what I was doing or wanting to do. Now I would go back and do all that just to understand media journalism and just like have that. But I mean, that said, I did information systems and that's highly valuable for everything I do. But what did I really learn?
I tested
I
out
learned
of
a few
math and
code
English
languages.
in high school.
Well,
and now I
here's my
look back
thing.
and I'm like,
I hated
math is
English
hard
always.
now.
I always hated English in high school. I liked a couple teachers I had, but they made you read summer books. I read one out of like 7 of the summer books I was supposed to read. Because, dude, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, you're like, read this in the summer. It's probably good for you to interact for the whole class. But so they teach a whole class assuming that you read this book. Hilarious to me. There's a better way to do shit. But we talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Like you talk about how that feeds into student loans, how you talk about colleges and how they make so much money just pumping up tuition. All of that's bullshit. And, you know, like I keep joking the virus was the market correction we needed. Everybody was expecting something to come. You wonder when that trickles down. Education needs a reset. The amount people pay to go to college or expected to pay to go to college.
We need to do my tax plan. That's all I'm saying.
Your tax plan. You can talk about it if you want. That's interesting.
Should we or should we save it for?
I was going to say that's something we can save for the future.
Let's actually put some thought into something we say. We'll come back to
I
it
actually
later.
have a pretty good tax plan. I'm running for president in, let's see,
You couldn't-
2032.
You could tell me the world's ending and I had to be president to save it. I wouldn't do it. I'm not.
really?
Okay. If it was literally like you, dude, swing vote, you've got to do this. I'd be like, fuck, really? Okay. Okay. But like, no, I would never run for Jesus, dude. They ruin your life. Everybody in the media ruins your life if you try to do anything good for the country. People are so polarized over it. Hey, wait, let's wrap it with presidential race about Biden being a douche. That's the only exciting thing that's happened in the last week.
I think you can just clarify it as Biden is a total douchebag.
Basically, a guy was asking Biden.
That's not totally fair.
A guy was asking.
He's not.
You can't play that off on confusion. He's an alpha and he's getting old.
Ooh, hot take.
He put his finger in this dude's face like, you're full of shit, saying about the gun control thing. God, prepare to get slapped, dude. I can't believe that guy in a hard hat didn't take a little swing.
outside.
Well, like, why are you telling people
Bro.
40 years your junior to meet you outside, dude? What are you going to talk about? More gun control?
That dude's going to pull out his AR-14. You got to be careful, Biden.
No shit. I laughed so hard when I saw it. Well, because a lot of people ran headlines like Biden's commentary on AR-14, 15. I'm like, why are you guys putting this in all your headlines?
You know that guy is now in the NRA ranks, right? Did we ever talk about that?
Well, we talked about it this morning, but you can talk about it.
So that guy's now the marketing guy for the NRA. So if you go on Facebook, you'll see the guy that Biden was cussing out for the NRA. And that's about it. I mean, like, go check it out on Facebook.
We'll link all of the things that we talked about visually so that you can
I was
see them.
gonna say listen to Gombac more often on whatever this guy's social media platforms are.
Gombac.
Yeah. So if
Ooh.
you guys didn't like his Zap the Gays or Shock the Gays or Shock the Frogs, if you're a PETA frog protector, make sure to go onto his Twitter.
Well, also, if you're going to like act that seriously about it, just go fuck yourself.
No,
Because
we don't care.
No, I mean, this isn't going to be like a place where we don't have, like, I have people slated on the list to come in and talk with us that we are not going to agree with at all. Nope. Like, it's going to, you know, when you hear something and kind of, I've gotten away from this mostly, but sometimes you read something and it's so far and different from what you kind of believe. You're like, that pisses me off. And I just have to sit back and think about it. I'm like, I'm not that crazy.
I crave that.
I love that shit. You have to do that. I hate that people, this is something that I've known for like, 2 years, but the amount of blocking that people do on Twitter.
It's a nice book.
They actually like block every person that disagrees with them and stuff on Twitter. I'm like,
Love it.
I think I have
Go
10
fuck
total
yourself.
people blocked after I've had Twitter since high school, so 10 people blocked. And
God, I don't believe in that at all. Someone
9
could talk
years.
the utmost shit to me. I could think it wasn't constructive at all, and I'd still not block them.
I don't think it's because of that. I think the people that I blocked is because I saw them too many times on other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Other people would repost them too much. I was like, I can't see this anymore.
Hey, though, I'm not in the business of telling other people what to do. Block whoever you want, but just don't be such a pussy about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've hit most of our points.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna go
Or if
enjoy
you're
our
something other than
Saturday.
those two.
Yeah. I don't
the
really have
tulip
anything
fields.
else to say. Do we have any closing remarks? Otherwise, we're out.
Podcast number 4, we're going to talk about my tax plan for when I run for president. We're doing a diving in comedy podcast. We're doing a diving into sports podcast whenever it comes back.